right, it's 9 a.m. on September 4th, 2021. Here is a late season, I guess, overview of where things have gone at Snyder Farms, Gambier edition. A lot of things will have been harvested, although some things are still coming in. Some things are about to be harvested, and planted some new things for the fall and winter. So I'm sort of in the corner of the bed now. This bed was not here in the first video, but actually everything's growing nicely. There's a bunch of radishes, green onions, mustard greens, and more radishes. I can't remember what kinds, but I have like standard radishes, daikon radishes, wasabi radishes. I think that's it in this bed. Oh, I think there's some little lettuces on the end. A little hard to see right there. There'll clearly be a lot of weeds to remove here. Just uncovered this bed. Everything is always covered at this stage to protect it. For example, these turnips, and over there spinach for the fall and for next spring, but too lazy to uncover them for the purposes of this video. Got a monster sunflower here, which is definitely 10 feet by now, and not yet flowered. We've got some other ones over here that have started flowering, which is fun to wake up one day and see a beautiful flower that was not there the day before. And there should be a lot more popping up. This bed was all asparagus, which did grow in the back here. Let's see, here's the asparagus, if I can focus on it. And somewhere there are shoots that look more like the asparagus that you would eat. Yeah, here's one over here. I can't really focus on it. Anyway. But they didn't come up here. I broke my back. I broke a rib, literally preparing this bed with the pickaxe. So anyway, I just put in a bunch of radishes and salad greens here. Hopefully they come up in time for the fall. There was broccoli and cauliflower, but a few weeks ago slugs got at them. So this is filled with slugs because of all the squash where the slugs can hide. You can see a nice big pumpkin there. I don't know, that one's probably, I don't know, maybe 40-50 pounds. And then the smaller ones are more of a sugar pumpkin for baking. Got a lot of those scattered around. The biggest squash there is a zucchini, which if I protect from slugs has been pretty productive. There's some spaghetti squash there. This just did not work. Melons. Subi gave me a watermelon he grew in school. Nothing in this thing grew. Except these leeks. These 4 leeks are here and they're getting bigger every day. Over there I got some 4 raspberry bushes, and that's all spinach and a bit of fennel, which is protected from, again, slugs. And peacocks will peek their heads through the fence, and will pick at anything along the edges too. These cucumbers are not that pretty, but they're fairly productive. Got a nice one there. This was pink popcorn, which just did not work. So that's all gone, and there's buckwheat in there to prepare the soil. These are all kidney beans, which were planted late, but are coming in, but probably need another month or so. And I have purple tansy flowers here to attract pollinators. And I did see a bee just buzzing around there, hoping they stick around a bit more so that they can pollinate my peas. Here, 5 different grains, different wheats, oats and whatnot, and sort of ancient grains. And they are going to be soon ready to harvest, I guess. the birds like these. So I noticed the birds are checking it out because these are starting to dry out and be tasty for them. I can't remember what's what here. I think this is, geez, I don't know, wheat or something. Figure that out. Sabri seeded all of these flowers here, which in the last few weeks have really become beautiful and are basically just filling in the space between, sort of overcrowding here, the blueberry bushes. See some other ones coming up here, some on the other side of the fence too. There's a chicken wire there too to protect it from deer and peacocks. There's another blueberry bush. So yeah, these are all 6 blueberry bushes are growing well. Herbs here do not do so great, but I get a little something. Tiny bit of basil, dill, and cilantro. Pole beans, which I started canning for the winter. And some beautiful drying beans here, which will soon be ready to harvest. The other beans here I did harvest. They're drying up at the house. There's a little bit of chicory or endive or something like that, frisee here remaining. Harvested the other ones. Salads have been amazing. It looks like this one may actually be coming back. You get a second round there. And chicory also here, kind of bitter, but in moderate doses. It's been delicious in the salad. These beans are really pretty too. This was also corn. We just harvested that yesterday, except for this one. I'm not sure why I left this one here. It'll be a little mini corn. And there were some flowers here too. Here's another sunflower. Yeah, so lots of squash, some butternut squash there too. Peppers were here, but they were producing actually, but slugs, if the slugs are on them for one day, they will just eat half of a pepper. So there were 2 or 3 peppers there. I think I pulled them all up. They were just not going to do anything. Though I like your idea of overwintering them, bringing them inside or something. I think that might be a good idea. This is, I think, this is broccoli, I think, or cauliflower. Anyway, it's a bit slow to grow down here, but we might get something this fall. Couple tomatoes, which are just beginning to ripen. So we will get something from these. The rhubarb looks nice. These are all oats, which are a little thinned out because of probably the peacocks sticking their heads through. Oh, there's my enemy right there. Big slug. So they're so sticky. I don't actually like to touch them because my hands get all gross and I can't. It's really hard to wash off. So I just hurl them over the fence there. Yeah, you can soon harvest these probably. The oats. I had buckwheat all over the place to attract pollinators and just build the soil. Swiss chard I just uncovered today. I might recover it because definitely this will not survive the slugs. But this will, oh yeah, there's one right there. Even if it is covered, probably the slugs will get it. Barley. More flowers. Planted around the outside. It's a deer-resistant blend. It's still covered up, just to be safe. Maybe once it's established, the deer will indeed ignore it. Probably the peacocks won't, though. A couple cabbages under here, protected from moths. Another dang slug. These are beet seedlings here. And I don't know if they're gonna make it in time for the winter to grow anything. They've been ravaged by slugs as well. But a couple bigger ones may produce something. This was another corn here, which is sparse because the birds thinned them out a lot at the beginning when they were small. So we only got a handful of each type of corn. But we still have some good meals with it. Cress, I don't know, I think stuff's supposed to just like make a sheet of these little leafy greens that are good in salads. And then I seeded a bunch of overwintering onions, Walla Walla onions. So this whole bed is filled with them. So should, if it works, have lots of onions next summer. We've got one apple tree here. You can see it spread over these 3 pieces of wood, 3 different rows of different apples, 3 types there. And then these back flowers have like turned out beautifully. Just really blossomed in the last few weeks. So much watering to keep these guys going because we had a lot of heat and little rain this summer. Remarkably dry, hot summer for us. And then the tomatoes, which I've kind of covered just to keep them dry, and it's kind of worked. As long as it doesn't get too heavy, then it pools up. I'll have to build something better for next year. But yeah, black Prince tomato, some early maturing sort of varieties, which at the end of the summer maybe are just barely gonna produce fruit. Japanese black Trifele or something. Gardener's Delight, early Cascade, and Sun Golds. There's a nice. This is definitely our biggest one we have this year. Yeah, the flowers there. There we go. The bag is the last bag of soil. 4 cubic yards of that I ordered, that and some compost to prepare all the beds. That's the remaining little bit. Just have a little bit of land here left to put stuff if I ever decide to. Of course, high probability there, I guess. My giant gate, pretty happy with that. And the last thing that's worth showing is the compost. Oh yeah, this rock fell down the hill while I was in the garden. Came about 3/4 up the hill and started tumbling down. If you're at the top of the hill, you can see the path it took, and it landed and crushed this plywood, which you can see is like a couple feet away from the propane tank. Crazy. Would not have been cool. And landed right here. I mean, that's weighed like 500 or 1,000 pounds or something. That thing. Anyway, all good. Of course, there's the other rock there too. I mean, at some point that fell. And here we got our compost. So cedar milled from the ranch, 1-inch thick slabs, 3 4-foot by 4-foot bins here, 4-foot by 4-foot by 4-foot high. And then people in the community have just been giving me their compost waste. They come by and deliver it, and we should have gardening gold for next year. See, right now it's almost 50 degrees Celsius, so getting nice and hot in there. Everything decomposing nicely. But yeah, it's sweet to have like such nice wood to build something like this from. Just come from the trees that have fallen naturally. Here's our rotten maple that fell, which I've been chainsawing to make sawdust again to put into the compost.